strange. One night I was laying in bed at night, just going a routine day, tired, lay down, just a long day, and I just started wrestling in my sleep. I couldn't hardly sleep, and I just noticed that there was a lump in my breast. It was pretty small, so I really didn't think anything of it. You know, I said, well, maybe it's just a cyst or something. I'll go and get it checked out eventually. But knowing me, I'm just very persistent in work, and the kids get so involved with the things around me until I just don't even pay attention to myself as I should. So I kind of put it off, regretfully. And then I took a shower one night, and I said, I want to feel that lump again. And I was like, man, it just seems like it's just gotten a little bigger. And then I started to wash under my arm, and then I felt a lump under my arm. I was like, oh my God. So that was kind of fearful for me to think that, okay, well, I have one in my breast, I have one in my arm, and I'm like, nah, it can't be. So I pulled it off again. Eventually, I said, well, I need to go ahead and make an appointment with my doctor to have it looked at. And I remember going to my doctor, and they had to, do an examination. Basically, the ultrasound did reveal that I had breast cancer. And I just laid there, and I'm like, still in awe, can't believe it. I said, what? And I'm like, I'm only 43 years old. What am I doing with cancer? And it just was a shock to me, and to see that I have to think about what's going to lie ahead, what to do next. My biggest fear was my children. My biggest fear is my children, and me not being here to be there for them. Not so much as going through the treatments, it's just not being there for my children, because my children, that's my world. I just couldn't imagine them being here and I'm not to see them grow up and to experience life with them. So that was one of my greatest fears. And of course, not knowing what to expect. I hear all the time of all the horror stories of other people that have had so many complications and people who have passed away. My mom passed away from cancer. I have cousins and family members that have passed away from it. So it was like, man, and I'm the youngest out of 13 brothers and sisters. I'm the youngest, and to see that, oh man, I'm hit with this news. What's going to become of my sisters and brothers when they find out? So it was a scary time. Hard to cope with in the beginning, because I didn't know what to do, what to expect. Now, the thing about it, when I started my first treatment, I have my support system. My best friend was there with me. And I was just so fearful because I didn't know what to expect. I was like, this is something new to me. I'm not sure what to do here. But I started going through those treatments after treatment, and it's like, I started realizing, oh, I can do this because I have that support system. I have that faith, and I just started building that courage because I knew that I had my children dependent on me. I depended on myself. I have, too many things that I still believe that I had to get done on this earth, and I believe that if God brought me to it, he can take me through it. So giving up was not an option. It was never an option for me. You know, it's just, I accepted the reality that, okay, this is something that has happened to me, and I have to fight through it. It did have some, you know, being a breast cancer patient was not all easy as far as my mental, because there's some nights that I, you know, ponder and thought like, why me? Why am I going through this? And, you know, and there was some times where the emotional thought process began to take over. But I believe with the faith in God and how he has took me through it without having to experience as much as people have when it came to the pain, the nausea, the vomiting. I didn't have any of the symptoms. It was almost as though I just went through it without any real complications, nothing. It's just, I went through it, and it's like God just carried me through it. And so I experienced, after I had the mastectomy of my right breast, I felt, you know, I felt like it was a loss, like a grief, like I was grieving, and in a sense to say that I didn't have a part of my body anymore, and it was in a deformed way. It was scar. There's a big scar there, but it's just a reminder for me now to realize, okay, this is something that I went through and I survived it. So it's more of a positive thing for me now because I survived it. I didn't let it take me down. I didn't let it get me mentally distraught and stay in misery. Or I just was so grateful, very humbly and grateful that I came through it and I didn't let it bring me down. I didn't let it be a definition of something negative. I look at it as in a positive way because I'm still here. I'm still able to get a chance to be with my family, my children, be able to accomplish things that I was working on prior to my diagnosis. Now that I've finished chemo and the surgery has taken place, preparing for my radiation is something that I'm actually looking forward to because I'm keeping a positive mind, positive outlook, because if I've come this far, I have that strength now to continue to furthermore complete this process. So it's like, I don't have a reason to be sad or doubtful because God has obviously taken me this far, so he's going to continue to guide and lead me through. I'm not even afraid. I'm not afraid. I believe it's the courage and the positivity that I have within, that belief that God is taking care of me and he's going to take care of me. So it's not fear any longer. It's just me being able to continue to process. So this has been a long and enduring journey. It's been some back and forth to the doctor's visits and checkups, blood drawn. It's been so packed with emotions, and you know, the impact this is going to have on my family is that I survived and that I'm strong. My body is strong. I'm strong. So I will instill that in my children. Like, don't you give up on nothing. Don't give up on anything because your mom was able to kick cancer's butt. So I don't want to hear any excuses. I'm going to always be that one that's going to show them that, yes, you can do it. I did it. You can do it. I have the strength, and if you got any part or being of me, you can do it too. So this is going to be a positive impact on my children. It's nothing negative because God was in the midst of it, and he's still in the midst, and he's shown and proven that he can carry you through something. Even when it looks hard and you don't see a way out, he can carry you through it. Now, this process began in early June, and I was just a transfer from North Carolina. I just transferred to my job in Atlanta, and things was moving on the up. I was getting my certifications within carrying mail, and then, working in the plant. And so I just was at a good place, getting ready to move and find my home. And then I get the shock of my life, and everything just stood still for a moment. So it's been so complicated having to travel back and forth from Atlanta to come to South Carolina to be able to receive the care and be close to family. And it's a financial toll because I have 3 little ones that I have to still provide for. And it's such a, it can be such a traumatic situation if I continue to ponder on it. It's the medical bills is astronomical. It's just, I can't believe the amount of cost it is to even just have a mammogram. And you're looking at $146,000 for surgery. And I've had multiple surgeries. I've had to, there's just no way. It's like being able to decide whether or not you're going to feed your kid or whether or not you're going to be able to pay a medical bill. I have to choose feed my kid. But at the same time, it's like, how is it that we can even, continue if I can't pay my bills, can't pay the light, can't pay the water, can't pay anything other than just trying to get help from anybody that is willing to help? Because it's nothing like when you don't have a job to go to and you have to fight for your life to survive and to have the will to live. And for me to even be able to sit here and tell you that my process and journey going through it, I had a positive mind, a positive thoughts. I just couldn't sit and allow negativity to even be around me because I had to stay motivated in order to continue to keep this journey of moving forward to treatments. But the treatments, it's a cost. It's a great cost. And I don't have gas in my car sometimes. I don't even have a way to pay my bills. Cell phone bill, it's just, people reach out because they try to get help, and some people reach out for whatever reason. But if you see my black face on the camera, trust me, it's a need. It's a great need. It's appreciated. Any small amount, anything that is, a dollar, doesn't even matter. It's just a thought. But yeah, this is not something that I would wish on my worst enemy to have to go through. But yeah, it's been so devastating when it comes to having to take care of yourself and try to take care of your children and try to live. If you're watching this and you're going through cancer treatments, if you've been recently diagnosed, get you a good support system. If you don't have a support system, get with whomever your navigator is, nurse navigator, your social service, whoever, and find you something that's going to allow you to have a support system, because being in a positive state of mind is so important on your body, because you don't want to release any toxins in your body while you're trying to fight. And sometimes it's hard because you might be sick. You might feel like giving up and feeling nausea. But the key to it is to be positive. But the number one thing is to have faith and prayer. Prayer and faith go hand in hand. Without it, I would not be here. And I know that. I don't know how people can live this life and don't realize that prayer is important, and that being close to God and being able to recognize and acknowledge that He is the one that is waking us up every day. You know, support is very important, because sometimes when you don't have that support, you can feel like you're all alone. Get on social media and watch somebody with a video encouraging you and telling you to keep working through it. Everybody's diagnosis is different. Their outcomes is going to be different, but hang on to prayer and hope and get closer to God. For the future, I'm just going to continue to live. I'm going to, continue to thrive. I'm going to just live every day as if it's my last, and spend as much quality time with my children, learn to eat healthy, exercise. All these things are very important to the process of recovery from being a breast cancer survivor. You have to learn how to eat your foods that are of the earth. Go vegan if you can, and healthy foods, organics. There's so many different ways you can make food to have a good taste, and then have that nutrition that you need and the probiotics that you need in your body to restore those cells and just to restore your entire body, because you're going to need that. Things that you need to research and read about that they don't tell you because it's good news, it's good and healthy. They want you to buy the nasty, unhealthy things out here because, it's cheap. We're going to go to the dollar store, and you go in the dollar store and you look up all those ingredients on the labels. Nah, ain't nothing. There's nothing healthy about it. It's killing us. The food is killing us. Cancer is on a rise, and it's among more younger individuals than it's ever been. People have to stay diligent about what's going on around. You got to read and gain knowledge from things that is going to help save your life. So moving forward, I'm going to still continue to go to school to obtain my second degree. I'm going to continue to work to provide. But in the meantime, I have to be able to get my foot on that ledge so I can at least have a push to help me get there. And it's just a time where we all can come together and help one another.